Hey guys, so welcome back to my channel. And this we're going to talk about I think this is episode 10, right? This is episode 10, season 3 of Thousand Pound Sisters. And I'm just going to talk about different points. I'm not even going to do a whole recap. I don't really do a recap anyway, but just talk about different things. Um, so they still in Tennessee or whatever, and that's a beautiful trip. And I can imagine the altitude when you in the mountains. You know what I'm saying? But Tammy has to learn how to say things, not just get an attitude and say, oh, she can't do that, because she could walk those steps. She just didn't want to. She caught an attitude. Now, a couple of days ago, I did film a video or an audio about Philip and Tammy, and he said, but I just uploaded yesterday, so you can go check that out. Um, he said that Tammy was mad on the trip because he wouldn't come up there. She wanted him to go on the trip with her, and he was like, no. But then he blocked Tammy on everything because she kept harassing him. Okay, so if you listen to that video, you get a good understanding of why she was acting the way she was acting. And when I was watching it, I was like, okay, yeah, her attitude is funky. She is acting different. And I don't think she was on the phone with Philip in the other episodes. I think she just portrayed that she was to get her family upset with him, because now it's starting to make a little bit of sense to me. So I'm like, So when I saw this episode, and I watched this episode on Discovery Plus, you can see the episodes earlier. So if you don't have it, that's a good thing to get. And she was just, her attitude was just horrible. Horrible. Okay. So when they filmed them at the, Monster Bash burger joint, her and Amanda was going in, you know. Tammy attitude was crazy. Chris sitting there with his head down. It just threw the whole thing off. But if you notice, when Tammy is not with her family and the family is just together, they have a good old time. They laughing. It's a different scene when Tammy is around. So Amanda's at the car, and she's saying what she's saying, and here's Tammy at the table saying what she's saying and all that kind of stuff. And now it's at the point where Tammy doesn't want to ride in the same car as Amanda, and here they go, bending over backwards for Tammy, because now Mike and Chris gotta take her back, you know, to the hotel. I'm like, no, you're gonna ride with us, and that's that. Then that's the problem with them. They keep doing things for Tammy. Because that right there, I'm not going to sit there and drive 30 or 40 minutes one way, and they got to come back and get everybody else and then go back the other way. Nobody's not doing, no, sorry, I wouldn't be doing all that. I wouldn't be doing all that. And then Chris, he's cussing about it. Don't cuss about it, just don't do it. Don't do it. Wait till everybody is leaving at one time. But they're going to do what they're going to do. So she's outside, she's getting ready to go, and she's out there in the wheelchair, spinning around, doing all types of little circles or donuts, whatever you want to call it, just going all over the place. And I'm like, yeah, okay, this is the kind of type of chair she need to make sure that she can move around herself and do what she need to do, because Tammy is just too huge for anybody to push her. And so their friend spent the night up there. He came up there to get Tammy. Stayed at the cabin with, Amanda and the rest of them, and then he went to go get Tammy. So Tammy didn't want to stay, so he ended up taking Tammy back to Kentucky, you know, which is cool. So now everybody else gonna be leaving to go home, but because she didn't want to stay, she was talking about, she told them that she didn't want to go in the first place. She didn't feel good and all this kind of stuff. And then she looking at Amanda's little robe that she had on, and she was talking about, oh, don't wear that, don't wear that. Tammy, you wish you could wear something like that, girl. Don't. Ain't nothing wrong with Amanda's robe. Her boobies was snugged in there tightly, so it was nothing going to pop out. It just seemed like Tammy just always got something to say about something, you know. But she could have stayed. She could have said, hey, this air up in these mountains, it is not for me. I'm gonna go give me a hotel. And then, things would have been different. But she didn't say that, because Tammy know that she could have walked inside where the air was inside the cabin, but she didn't do that. She rather throw a fit, and that's just what she does. So now she getting back home, and you know, I'm mad with Tammy. She pisses me off because Amy got the house. Okay, Amy got the house. Whoop-de-doo. I'm happy for her. She got the house. I'm glad she told her family that she put the offer in. And Amanda seemed like she was really happy for her. But I was watching Chris. Chris seemed like he's happy for her, but his face had some worry on it because what's going to happen to Tammy? That's the biggest question. What's going to happen to Tammy? And like Misty said, she's going to have to end up at the ward estate or in the home. And the same thing Chris said, because who can take care of her? They have their own life. They have their own family. Who is going to sit there and take care of Tammy? Amy is now pregnant again, okay? And she has Gage and it's Michael. She has a family. So she's moving into a house that she likes. And it's time for her and her family. Tammy needs to learn how to live on her own or put her in a nursing home. Put her in a rehab. She needs to go in rehab for a good year or two, okay? And then somewhere else for another couple of years because Tammy is going to, every time she's home by herself, something else is going to happen. And like Amy said, you know, she left her by herself and then Tammy ended up getting pneumonia and on life support. But also her weight is contributing to that, you know? So, yeah. I'm happy for Amy. It's time for her to move on and leave Tammy behind. So when they got back from doing everything, she went next door. She was talking to Tammy, and Tammy just has this look that she's not happy for nobody. Okay, she's not happy for anybody, and that's what gets on my nerve. Like you're sitting there looking at Amy, she's talking to you, and you're just not happy about the house. She says she is, but I don't think she's happy. I really do think that Tammy is jealous of Amy's life because Amy was at a point where she was big, not as big, but she was big. But Amy pushed herself to lose the weight and to get right. She did get pregnant a little bit too soon, but hey, that's her and her husband's doing. So, but she still managed to better herself. And she changed a lot, and I'm happy for Amy. Tammy could do the same, but Tammy doesn't want to. And that weight is going to kill her if she does not get it under control. That weight is going to kill her. So now here go to partying. My thing is those are not real friends. And I'm going to tell you why. They may like Tammy, but if you see how she is, you see in your family, you know how what her issue is, and you know how the family feels. All that drinking and partying, no, can't be. I would not be going to no liquor store for Tammy to get nothing to drink. All right. All that stuff, they need to be talking to her about getting herself together. But she'll probably curse them out as well. But all that partying and drinking, and honey, she's in a car vaping and she could barely breathe. You vaping and drinking and you could barely breathe. But you saw how she walked out that house, right, to get in that car to go to the liquor store to put her order in for what she want to drink. And then she walked back into the house. And honey, she was standing up. She could stand up long enough to move herself around to dance. But she can't walk up Amy's little tiny steps to get into her house to see her house. Come on now. I was like, this girl is too much. She is just too much. And I'm like, seriously, they are like, and then she's drinking 2 drinks at a time, vaping, you know, eating pizza. What else she was doing? Dancing, moving around. You could do all of that stuff, but you couldn't go into your sister's home and look at her house. You're complaining. You don't feel good. You hungover. Well, if you didn't feel good or you was hungover, why you didn't stay home? You could have said, no, Amy, we'll go another time. But no, she gets there and then now she just want to give everybody a hard time. She was she is self-destructing. She is self-destructing and she don't care. So her family need to stop caring because if Tammy don't care, why should everybody else care? But we're going to see how far this go. We're going to see. But anyway, guys, that's all I have. I didn't want to talk too much. I'm pushing myself to do this. You know, my grandma passed away, and um, I just got a lot on my mind. But I did watch 1,000 Pound Sisters, and I just want to talk about that for a little bit. All right, so hopefully I can talk about it next week. But if not, it'll be a little bit later on that I could talk to you about the next show. All right. So you guys, let me know in the comment section, what do you think about Tammy? How do you think she's gonna end up after all this is over? What do you think is gonna happen to Tammy if she doesn't stop and get herself together and make sure she's doing what she's supposed to? And do you think those are her real friends that's giving her drinks like that? It's like, and for some reason, when they kept calling her Tam Tam, it was irritating me. It really was. And I'm like, she's in a whole adult, like Tam Tam, and let's go, and all that. I'm like, mm-mm. But I really didn't like them giving her all the alcohol like that, because what if something would have happened to her right then and there? You know? Come on now, it's just too much. But anyway, I'll talk to you guys later, and thank you for listening, and thank you for supporting my channel. I do appreciate it.